hot furnace suddenly falls off and the workers' lives are in danger. At the critical moment, a man stretched out his hand, stopped the furnace out of thin air, but he never thought that the man's bravery would cause his life to fall into darkness again. It turns out that the man is the dreaded Magneto. He can control anything with magnetic properties. He was previously wanted for destroying Washington, D.C. alone. Magneto was worried that he had just used his powers at the construction site to expose his identity, so he planned to move with his wife and daughter overnight. However, the police were one step ahead of them. They grabbed Magneto's daughter and threatened him into submission. Apparently, one of the workers reported him. Magneto was willing to be arrested to protect his wife and daughter, but his daughter is also a mutant who can control all animals. Seeing her father arrested, the daughter excitedly summoned a flock of birds to fight back. In the chaos, a police officer accidentally released the bow and arrow in his hand. A sword flew out and pierced through the mother and daughter. Magneto was devastated. That was his last weakness in the world, his only remaining warmth and hope. Now everything was gone. A short silence was followed by a complete breakdown. Magneto slowly removed the necklace from his daughter's neck. Just the moment he let go, the necklace flew out like a bullet. It instantly pierced the throats of all the police officers present. They fell in a pool of blood before they could even react. Magneto didn't understand why his good deed had become the cruelest price in his life. He returned to the factory with a vengeance. This time, he no longer hid his identity, but confessed it.
You want to know my powers? Know who I am? My name is Magneto.
Hearing this, the workers were stunned, and it seemed that there was only one way out. However, before Magneto could do anything, Apocalypse teleported over with 3 horsemen. Magneto thought he was here to stop his revenge. Hearing this, Apocalypse was full of questions. Who can be as professional as me in such things as killing people? He rolled his eyes, and all the workers were buried in the ground. Apocalypse wants Magneto to be his 4th horseman. Magneto's destructive powers are an indispensable part of rebuilding the world. But Apocalypse knew he wouldn't stand for it, so he told Magneto to go with him to a place. This is a concentration camp, and the place where Magneto's parents were killed. Magneto will always remember that rainy day, the loss of his wife and daughter and the tragedy of his parents. Magneto's heart was completely taken over by darkness. Since his powers had already been explored to the extreme, he didn't need any additional enhancement. So Apocalypse just guided him to let him release his anger and despair completely. In an instant, Magneto's eyes turned cold. He reached out his hand to completely vent his emotions.
And from the ashes of their world, we'll build a better one!
The surrounding buildings were reduced to pieces under his powerful psychic abilities. Everything was destroyed in his emotional outburst. In less than a moment, the tortured camp was reduced to rubble. At this point, Apocalypse also managed to find the 4 horsemen.